Tonight's guest has created, executive produced, starred in, and served as head writer of NBC's 30 Rock for 7 years. For 3 consecutive years, the show won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series, and her portrayal of Liz Lemon on it has earned her an Emmy Award, 2 Golden Globe Awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and a People's Choice Award. For 9 years, she was head writer and cast member of Saturday Night Live. Her writing on that show earned her an Emmy Award and 2 Writers Guild Awards, and she won an Emmy Award for a subsequent guest appearance. She has appeared twice on Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People list, and her book, Bossy Pants, went straight to the top of the New York Times bestseller list and remained on the list for months. I'm sure none of our nearly 300 other guests will feel slighted or will disagree when I say that she may be the smartest guest we've ever had. The Actors Studio is very proud to welcome Tina Fey. We begin, as always, at the beginning. Where were you born?
Upper Darby, Pennsylvania.
What is the name on your birth certificate?
It's Elizabeth Stamatina Fey.
Stamatina isn't a name we hear very often.
Yeah.
What is its ethnic origin?
It's my great-grandmother's name, and she was Greek. In Greek, my name is Vasiliki Stamatina.
What is your mother's name?
Jean, which was... but her name was Americanized. Her name was Zenobia, which is pronounced Zenovia.
In your book, Bossy Pants, you refer to your Hellenic upbringing.
Yes.
What did that consist of?
Well, I grew up in a very Greek neighborhood, went to Greek church, and I was sort of regarded as like half Greek, half white.
Half white?
It was weird. It was unusual for anyone to be only half Greek at that time.
What is your father's name?
His name is Donald Fey.
And his ancestry?
He is German and Scottish.
And his profession when you were growing up?
He was a grant writer at the University of Pennsylvania. He wrote a book about fundraising.
Upper Darby sounds like a place you would encounter in a Jane Austen novel.
Nope.
What's Upper, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Sounds like Downton Abbey, Upper Darby.
Yeah, it's not.
And what's Upper Darby like?
It was mostly kind of working class, but it was a nice place to grow up. It was right on the border of West Philadelphia.
Did your parents steer you and your brother in the direction of the arts?
Very much so. My father was a painter by hobby, and they really encouraged us. They took us to plays and to museums. My brother has a film degree, and I have a drama degree. They let it continue that far. Yeah.
What do you remember with the greatest affection of those early exposures to the arts?
Probably the most treasured memories I have are television memories of like being allowed to stay up much too young to understand it, to watch this like exciting new phenomenon on PBS called Monty Python's Flying Circus.
What else did you watch?
Saturday Night Live, eventually, when I was old enough. I watched the golden age of sitcoms, Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart Show, and Carol Burnett.
Did you or did you not do an independent study on comedy in the 8th grade?
I did. How did you know that?
Why? What
I was a
possessed you?
good student, and I had a generous history teacher who let us choose, me and one other girl choose an independent study project, whatever we wanted, and she chose communism, and I chose comedy.
What college did you attend?
I attended the University of Virginia.
What made you choose that?
I got in, so I was like, I'll go there.
What was your major?
I went there to be an English major, but I ended up a drama major.
What did they teach? What kind of act?
I guess straight kind of Stanislavski technique. I say I guess because I never quite understood what was happening. None of these things really quite made sense to me until I left school and went to Chicago and fell into studying improvisation. That was the first kind of technique of any kind for me where I understood what I was supposed to be doing.
What led you to Chicago?
I think being a fan of Saturday Night Live and SCTV, and I had read books, you know, and then about that all the original SNL cast, many of them came from the Second City in Chicago, and that's where it was.
You got involved at Second City.
Yes, I started out as a student at the Second City.
We teach Stanislavski, and improv is a very fundamental pillar of that technique, and our students are all experienced in it. Would you share with them the experience that you had while you were there?
Yes, I will try. You learn the basic rules of improvisation.
Let's start with agree.
Probably the most important rule of improvisation is to agree, so that if I am starting a scene with you and I say like, well, I brought you an apple, if you say, that's not an apple, then we're screwed.
You're done.
We're done. The next step is yes, and, right? So I brought you an apple. Yes, let us fill it with poison for the queen. I'm taking what you gave me.
That's the and.
That's the and. I'm taking what you gave me and adding on to it. And now we're moving.
You've said that the best rule for you was there are no mistakes.
There are no mistakes in improv. There are no mistakes. If I come to you and say, you know, I brought you an apple, and you say, thank you for the cherry, because you weren't listening or something, then now we're doing a scene about a cherry farm that grows giant cherries.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
Let's do that.
That's the biggest cherry I've ever seen.
Biggest cherry ever. You're right. Oh my God, you're right. It is a cherry.
Right.
Think of the stone. And it's very freeing. With improvisation, all you're supposed to be doing is putting all your attention on your partner.
Right.
And listening to everything they're saying. And it takes you out of watching yourself in a way, because you can't.
Self-consciousness is the enemy of the actor.
Exactly.
How did you go from student to company member?
I took classes there for a while, and then you could audition to become a member of the touring company.
That was a Blue Co?
That was Blue Co. There was Red Co, Green Co, and Blue Co.
Co
And
for
eventually,
company, huh?
Gay Co. Self-formed Gay Co.
How long were you with Blue Co?
I think about 9 months.
When did you earn a place in the Chicago company?
Traditionally, the Second City main stage company had always been 4 men and 2 women, for no reason. And they would had this very like old-fashioned-y showbiz attitude of like, because there won't be enough parts for the girls.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, we're improvising. Like,
Right.
what?
Right.
What are you talking about? There was a producer at the time named Kelly Leonard, a man named Kelly, who finally kind of was like, yeah, it doesn't have to be 4 and 2. You're making it up as you go. And so he gave me a slot.
How long were you with the company?
A year and a half, I'd say.
How did Saturday Night Live come into your life, you into its life, and ours?
I contacted Adam McKay, who I had known at the Second City. He was the head writer by then already at Saturday Night Live, and he said, yeah, you can write a submission packet as a writer.
Did you have to meet with Lorne Michaels to get the SNL job finally?
Yes, I flew to New York City from Chicago, and I met with Lorne Michaels, which was the most surreal experience.
Why?
I was just so starstruck, and he's also just sort of a cryptic person to talk to, especially the first 400 times. And he was very, you know, he just sort of says like, if you come, then you'll find that you're living in New York. And you're like, did I get the job? Like, what's happening?
In 1999, Adam McKay stepped down as head writer of SNL, which triggered a television first. What was it?
Well, technically, I was the first female head writer at Saturday Night Live, but I always want to finish that thought, which is that there had really only been 3 previous head writers, but technically I was the first, and technically I am female. by a nose.
In 2000, you began performing in sketches while you were writing. Was it your ambition to be on camera?
I think anyone who says they don't dream of being on Saturday Night Live is a liar.
As the millennium arrived, you and Jimmy Fallon became the Weekend Update anchors. Was that your idea? Was it Lorne's?
It was Lorne's idea. Yeah, it would be funny if it had been my idea. Like, hey, I have an idea.
As I prepared for tonight, I asked Tina for her favorite SNL sketches. Here is one of them. from Weekend Update. Did you write that sketch?
Yes, I'm sure I had help from the update writers, but that Hefner harem was an obsession of mine at the time.
In 2000, you appeared in the theater. What did you appear in?
Dratch and Fay?
Dratch and Fay.
Yes. A two-person show with Rachel Dratch.
Who directed the Dratch and Fay show?
Jeff Richmond.
Jeff Richmond is sitting in the front row. Would you mind introducing him to our students, please?
This is American composer and director Jeffrey Wayne Richmond.
Would you stand up and say hello to our students?
What will you be singing for us tonight?
I've selected 16 bars
Of Rocky
of
Top.
a ballad.
You have the great good fortune, makes you the envy of every man in this house, of course, and that is that you are married to Tina Fey. When did you marry?
We married in June of 2001. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And do you have children?
We do. We have two
What are their names?
children. Between us.
Between us.
Right. We have two children. Our oldest daughter is named Alice, and the youngest one is named Penelope.
Are there
After
not
Pit
Gre-
Stop.
Are there not Greek names in there as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
Alice's middle name is Zenobia, after my mother. And Penelope's middle name is Athena, which is Penelope Athena. That's like hardcore Greek.
So the tradition continues.
Yes.
You two have worked together a great deal.
Well, let's see. We worked together in Chicago.
And then you came to Saturday Night Live.
I came on as the music guy for the show, and then we rolled into 30 Rock.
And what have you done on 30 Rock?
Score all the episodes and write all the songs, and executive produce the show as well because I
And direct
demanded
several
it.
episodes. Jeff has an amazing gift. He could guide beginning improvisers with the piano. There's very few people in the world that have that skill.
Oh, that's very nice. I kind of thank you. I wanted to say that I think you're doing a really nice job
Thank you.
tonight.
You know, Jimmy, I believe that if everybody had guns, then there would be fewer guns in the stores.
I would be arrested if I didn't ask about your indelible place in American politics. By the time it occurred, you had left SNL, but you returned to the show when this irresistible opportunity arose. Who first noticed that you bore a resemblance to Sarah Palin?
Lorne Michaels' doorman.
Really? Did your husband ever notice it?
He
I'll
did.
ask you. Did you, sir?
I remember seeing it on television and my jaw dropped. I thought, oh my gosh.
By the time the 34th SNL season premiered with Amy Poehler as Hillary Clinton and you as Sarah Palin, you had completely incorporated Palin. Look, style, voice, mannerisms. What kind of research and practice did it require?
Well, thankfully, it's a silly voice. I mean, she has a distinctive voice, a distinctive accent. And she has a lot of, you know, kind of gestural things. And then mostly I just thought, like, well, it, they can't fire me. I don't work here anymore.
You've all been so good that I'm going to give you a treat now. Let's take a look at Sarah Palin and Katie Couric. These sketches were not just funny, they were history. They may have influenced the election to a certain extent.
You don't go into it being like, we're taking them down. But you do try to think, like, what's the kernel of truth here?
I wonder, on behalf of my students here at the Actors Studio Drama School at Pace University, would you allow me to interview Sarah Palin, please?
We could try.
I'm the one taking the chance, not you, pal. You asked Joe Biden if you could call him Joe, is that right? Oh, yeah. Shall I address you as governor? You served only half a term, so what's the right term of address?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. And I'm a half governor, or you could call me a maverick at large.
Perhaps even Gov.
Gov would be fine by me, too.
Good. I know that you're very fond of shooting wolves from a helicopter, which is understandable enough. Have your views on gun laws or wolves changed at all?
You know, Jimmy,
What?
I believe that if everybody had guns, then there would be fewer guns in the stores.
I believe that if everybody had guns, there'd be fewer people left on the streets.
Also good.
Right? What about, I know it's a touchy subject, same-sex marriage. What is your view on that, please?
Well, the Bible says it's gross. And I don't judge it. A lot of the amazing, wonderful people I met in the audience at Dancing with the Stars seem to go that way,
Right.
but no.
No? No same-sex marriage?
Marriage is meant for people who wear different kinds of swimsuits.
There's a logic to that that is absolutely indisputable. Now, Gov, or whoever you are, countless women look up to you. Mm-hmm. Do you have any fashion and hairstyling advice for them?
Well, I'm a fan of the bump it. Also, to a tan you couldn't possibly have in Alaska. And that's really all you need.
Of greater importance, how does a woman like you make her way through a man's world?
I don't think of it as a man's world or a woman's world unless, again, we're talking about marriage. But I think of it as people being mavericks or not being mavericks.
May I be permitted just one more question?
Okay, then.
Please.
But you know, sometimes people ask me stuff and I don't answer it anyway, so go ahead.
That's true. You seem to have a great gift for
I'm
silence.
a slippery one.
Between us, what do you think of Tina Fey's portrayal of you?
It's the best one I never watched.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You've written SNL is like high school, but at least in high school they tell you when to graduate. What made you decide the time had come?
I had been there 9 years. I had a baby at home. And so I think I felt pangs of being home more. You know, little did I know that my escape route was a job that was a lot more hours, it turned out.
Whose idea was it that you make a development deal with NBC?
It was Lauren's idea.
What did you bring to NBC in your first pitch?
My first pitch was for me to play a cable news producer who has become saddled for, you know, in order to boost ratings, they bring in a kind of charismatic but arrogant anchor that was written, again, would have been written for Alec, with Alec in mind.
What was Kevin Riley's response?
No, thank you.
Did he make an alternative suggestion?
Yeah, he said, why don't you just write about what it's like to work at SNL? Yeah, so I like the idea of this dynamic between the kind of conservative male and this woman. And then Jeff, he said, well, why don't you just keep it? So that became the kind of Liz Lemon, Jack Donaghy dynamic, that he was a new kind of conservative, more businessy executive. And then I thought, like, well, what if I could use Tracy Morgan as kind of this erratic star? And then in my mind, it was this little triangle of characters that either had a lot in common at moments or nothing in common.
You referred to Alec as the star of the show.
Yeah, there was no 30 Rock without Alec. He's so good because, well, at first, you know, he fools you by being so handsome. He's really, you know, like a hilarious character actor in a leading man's skull. And he's nimble. So what he gives you is he can give you genuine emotion when necessary.
Oh, yes.
And yet he is precise, which is very important for comedy. His rhythms are precise. He can talk really fast, which was important for 30 Rock.
The Liz you wrote fulfills the classic definition of a flawed character. And she is always the butt of the show's humor. With her boyfriend Dennis describing her as a cook in the bedroom and a whore in the kitchen.
I think the way the other male characters sometimes would treat her was more about familiarity breeding contempt, that she just was like such a sister figure to them or authority figure to them. They're just like, ugh.
Here, in an episode called Reunion, are two very flawed and funny characters and two perfectly matched co-stars.
Just to be clear, we're not making out. That would be social suicide.
Ugh, like I even want to be here in this closet at this reunion. It's a nightmare.
The nightmare for whom, Lemon?
If these jagweeds don't want to get to know the nice, new me, then screw them and their rapidly yellowing teeth.
Wow, Lemon, you really haven't changed, have you?
Excuse me?
What happened when I told you guys had screwed me over for the CEO job? Did you offer your help as a friend, or did you make some joke about me being impotent?
Jeez, that was like 8 hours ago. I was just, I don't know, cutting the tension.
Or, as always, were you hiding behind your sense of humor instead of engaging in a real way?
Really? I'm the one that's hiding? Larry Braverman?
There it is, right there. When you feel threatened, you attack. That's why you're almost 40 and you're still alone.
At least I'm not 50 alone and sitting on 2,000 business cards for a job I'm never gonna get.
What did you say?
Yeah, your bags were delivered to my room by accident. Look what I found. You went to a printer, didn't you? You picked out a font. You paid extra for a rush order. It was your happy little secret.
You referred to the show's structure as a triangle. Liz and Jack and Tracy. Tracy Morgan put in 10 years on SNL. So you didn't have to go far to find him. Was it his improv background that attracted you?
It's his natural, lovable quality and his likability. It's not something you can learn. It's not something you can buy. And Tracy just, he has a warmth to him. And he has a dangerous quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How much of Tracy Morgan found its way into Tracy Jordan?
We did storylines that kind of came out of things that happened to him, from diabetes to PR troubles to all kinds of things. And he was always very generous in letting us do that. Tracy Jordan is insane, and Tracy Morgan is not insane.
Our guests who have done series have spoken with a considerable feeling of the experience of the final episode. What was it like at 30 Rock?
We did 13 episodes for our final season, which was great, because we were able to finish without getting too fatigued. And by the time we got to the table reads for episodes 7, 8, 9, things really started to happen. Episode 7, Liz got married. Episode 8, Jack's mother died. And things really started to happen in a way that the table reads became increasingly emotional. And then by the last table read, it was so tense and emotional because we're going to read the final hour, and knowing it was our last table read together.
Here's a scene from the finale, which would seem to have been Liz's and your farewell.
Oh boy, okay. Look, Trey, it's not goodbye forever. I've enjoyed working with you, and I'm sure we'll get to do it again sometime, and we're all gonna stay friends.
Sorry, is that the white lady's way of saying I'm going out to get cigarettes? Because that goodbye was atrocious.
Fine, well, I guess there's a reason people don't say honest goodbyes, because when stuff is coming to an end, people freak out and they act crazy. They pick fights and they pick blimpies, and I don't know what Pete's doing, so you lie to them. But if you want a hardcore truth goodbye...
Lay it on me.
We were forced to be friends because of work, and we're probably not gonna hang out after this. You'll say that you're gonna invite me to your house, and it's never gonna happen. And I'll see on TV that it's your birthday, and I'll forget to call. Working with you is hard, Tracy, you frustrated me and you wore me out. But because the human heart is not properly connected to the human brain, I love you, and I'm gonna miss you. But tonight might be it.
Brutally honest. I like that.
So you come to the show?
We'll come back, LL. But we're gonna watch this first.
Ride the train, ladies. Ride the train.
Were there tears at the end?
Yes, there were that day. There were tears, yeah. Yeah. From Tracy mostly. Tracy cried for a month.
Really?
Yeah.
A wonderful show, Tina. It was a
Thank you.
wonderful show. Thank you for it.
This is gonna ruin me. This is like, because you feel like you're kind of putting yourself out there in a way, more personally with a book than a TV script.
With what film did you make your feature debut as both writer and co-star?
Mean Girls.
How did your own high school experience find its way into the movie?
I tried to remember what those relationships were like. I used pieces of my own experience in several of the characters. Everyone's a little bit culpable of some mean behavior at that age. It doesn't matter whether you were cool or not.
And what did you play in the movie? Who was your character?
I played a teacher named Mrs. Norbury, which was the name of my high school German teacher.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure she was that pleased that I named her.
Who was in the film?
A number of beautiful, talented young women by the name of Amanda Seyfried, Lacey Chabert, Rachel McAdams, and Lindsay Lohan.
This was a breakout role for Lindsay Lohan. She's an interesting and troubling case. I thought she was enormously talented as a kid. Tell us about working with her on this film.
I think that was her first time making a movie without one of her parents literally on set with her all the time. And she did great. She was fine.
The film was a notable critical and box office success, ranking #1 its opening weekend. How do you feel about it?
I'm very proud of it. I've met over the years a lot of young women that it was very helpful, not only entertaining to them, but they felt like it was kind of a helpful coping mechanism for them to get through high school.
In many respects, we've been talking about Bossy Pants all evening. But as a writer, I have a few questions left. Given the life we've been examining, when did you find the time that goes into writing a book?
It nearly killed me. I wrote on set, on the set of Date Night. I started and I wrote on the set of 30 Rock on turnarounds in the 20 and 30-minute breaks. At home, I would hide in the laundry room. I would say to Jeff, you take the baby, I need to go in the laundry room for 2 hours.
Writing a book is a decidedly different process from writing a television script or a film.
It is a much more solitary process, and it's also more personal, and so I would have big mood swings of like, this is gonna ruin me. This is like, because you feel like you're kind of putting yourself out there in a way, more personally with a book than a TV script.
Didn't ruin you. How long was Bossy Pants atop the New York Times bestseller list? Do you remember?
I don't know.
5 weeks. How long did it stay on the list? Do you remember that?
A long time.
From April until the end of the year. That's a great achievement for any writer.
Thank you.
Do you know how many copies have been sold in the United States?
No, I don't.
More than 2 million.
I did.
I would like to ask you about a funny and touching movie called Admission.
Okay.
Producer Kerry Kohansky-Roberts has said, once we thought of Tina in the role, there really wasn't a second choice for us. How much of Tina Fey did you see in Portia?
Portia is a Princeton admissions officer. She decides who gets into Princeton and who doesn't. And it reminded me so much of working at Saturday Night Live and
Of course.
helping to decide, you know, who gets a writing job, or sitting in on auditions, which I would do for many years, and having what it's like to have people's dreams in your hands.
How long was the admission shoot?
It was very short. It was like a month, like 30-some days. We were able to shoot it on one of the summer hiatuses of 30 Rock.
Did you ever aspire to attend Princeton?
I did. I applied to Princeton, and I was rejected. Rightfully.
When did Paul Rudd come aboard?
Paul Rudd came aboard, months before shooting. I was so thrilled because we have so many friends in common, but we had never done anything together before.
Paul Rudd has said, coming into this, you know, Tina is going to be funny. But she deflects all of her jokes. She plays into what's funny in the situation and the character, making sure that the humor emerges naturally. Tell us about working with Paul Rudd.
He's just a delight. You know, he's another, weirdly to compare him to Tracy Morgan, he also has tangible warmth to him on screen. You root for him immediately, you like him immediately.
Yeah.
And he's the same thing as a scene partner. He's just kind of naturally encouraging and present, and yeah, it was easy and we had a good time.
Who plays your mother?
Lily Tomlin,
What honor do you and Lily have in common?
the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
Yes. Only 4 women have received that award, and you are the youngest of the honorees. What's it like to work with Lily Tomlin?
It was great. She means so much to me as a performer and a comedian, and as a scene partner, just brilliant, just so prepared, so present. You know, a lot of times you shoot with people on film and they kind of save their energy till their coverage.
Yeah.
But Lily's just fully with you on every piece of coverage.
I'd like to know how you approach a character like Portia, or any character you play. Let's start with her work around which the film revolves. An admissions director has specific definable duties. Did you do any research on the subject?
I did. I read the book, and I spoke to some people who had worked in admissions, and I also read a bunch of college admissions essays to sort of get in the mindset of. And it reminded me of writing submissions for SNL, because they're like sort of personal and embarrassing, and you look for any glimmer of uniqueness.
Do you make a lot of decisions as you prepare, or do you leave yourself a great deal of latitude for the moment when the director says action?
I mean, you think about it, but I think I also always will come from an improviser's background of like just get in there and then try to listen and respond.
See what happens?
On the day, yeah.
And you've got a partner.
Yes, you have a partner, so you're safe.
Paul Rudd's character, John Pressman, introduces you to a young man named Jeremiah, who aspires to apply to Princeton and thereby hang a number of intriguing tales. Here are Tina and Mr. Rudd in admission.
Do you think you have room for one more in your life?
One more what?
One more person.
Oh, John, that's so sweet. But you seem like a great guy, too, and you can handle an axe, and, you know, you have a very nice nose in your face. But I have a long-term boyfriend, long-term. And, you know, we are happy. We're very happy. We're so happy. It's, wow, happy is one of those words that if you say it a lot, it loses its meaning. Like fork, fork, happy.
Happy fork. It's not, Portia, what I mean, look.
No, goodbye. Thank you. This was so much better than kale. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was going for the cheek.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, well, nice catching up, and best of luck with the application process. Here's my card.
I have your card.
I gave you my card?
Yeah.
That's great. Then you have my card.
As admission unfolds, one realizes that several secrets lie hidden in that single word, admission. In the movie's course, there are several admissions of the revelatory sort, and they won't be revealed here.
Okay.
You'll have to see the film, which any student would call a dream assignment. What sort of assignment was it for you?
It was a dream assignment for me
Was
also,
it?
yeah, absolutely. What other advice do I usually give women in a male workplace? The advice I give is always wear a bra. Even if you don't feel like you need it, you just have it.
This year, you and Amy Poehler were enlisted to host the Golden Globes. What was that experience like?
We had a lot of fun. I keep saying I feel like we're getting to an age where we're like, who cares? Let's do it. Less afraid of things, you know. I think it's good. It's a good age to be less afraid. Yeah, so we got together the Friday night before.
Really? The Friday night before?
We enlisted friends of ours from various Weekend Update friends and 30 Rock friends and Parks and Rec friends, and I said, guys, let's write a bunch of jokes. We did about 7 minutes of material. That's really all it was. And some people say like, oh, we wanted you to come back more. And I always say like, you think you did, but you didn't. That's, I think the key is like, don't come back. Don't come back more.
We begin our classroom with the questionnaire that was asked for 26 years by the greatest talk show host ever, anywhere. His name is Bernard Pivot. Tina, what is your favorite word?
Hilarious, but with the Tracy Morgan pronunciation. Which is hilarious.
What is your least favorite word?
Plop.
What turns you on?
Laughter.
Of course.
Sure.
What turns you off?
Cowardice.
What sound or noise do you love?
My daughter's singing.
What sound or noise do you hate?
The other daughter screaming.
The world is waiting. What's your favorite curse word?
I feel like I want to go both. Be obvious. Great. I'm gonna say shitballs. Because you can almost use it in polite company.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
A translator at the UN.
What language?
I wish I could do all of them.
What profession other than your own would you absolutely not like to attempt?
A pilot.
Finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You're roommates with Oprah.
And here are your classmates.
Hi, Tina.
Hello.
My name's Kristen. I'm a third-year director.
Hi.
Just quickly want to tell you that you're my idol.
Oh, thank you.
Happy to be seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. My question for you is, I would love to hear any advice you have for sort of being a woman in a male-dominated industry.
My advice generally is kind of to just do your thing. Your job is not to spend your time teaching people that women can be directors. Your job is to be a director. So do your real work, and then that will set an example. I usually give women in a male workplace the advice I give is always wear a bra. Even if you don't feel like you need it, you just have it. Tell people like don't eat diet food in front of other people. Like don't eat like a lean cuisine. It's like it weakens you. Eat it privately. A lot of times people say, you know, don't cry in the workplace, but I find that if it's genuine, if something is so frustrating to you to cry, that it actually often scares the shit out of people. And it's quite effective if it's genuine. Oh, that's the other piece of advice, sorry, that I give to people who ask in a male-dominated workplace is that talent is not sexually transmittable. So don't think that if you don't have to sleep with anybody talented to get talent. Sleep with someone nice instead. It's tricky because it is you're doing two things at once. You're playing the scene as honestly as you can, but you do at the same time have to be rhythmically precise.
Hi, I'm Heather Schisler. I'm a first-year actor, and right before this, I was in my basic tech class, and we were talking about comedy and being a truthful actor and not falling into maybe a trap of playing for laughs. How do you walk that line? How are you truthful and also as funny as you are?
It's true that you want to be playing scenes as truthfully as possible and have comedy come from that. That's why someone I would recommend watching is Alec Baldwin, because he plays the scene at hand. It's tricky because it is you're doing two things at once. You're playing the scene as honestly as you can, but you do at the same time have to be rhythmically precise. There are certain moments where like, no, this is a joke. Like this this is you're playing the scene, but these last 4 words are the punchline of the joke, and you got to say the right 4 words, and you got to say them at the right speed. People who are really good at it, like Alec, are doing those 2 things at once. How do you learn that? I would say just by just watching people who are good.
And what if you don't have an audience, like, you know, when you're shooting a film or something?
It's a good question. You trust the crew sometimes? You rehearse in front of your crew? And while you're learning, you should be trying to do as many things as you can with a live audience, anytime you can. So that way you get those rhythms, hopefully you learn them enough in real practice that then you kind of can trust your own timing later when you're without an audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so get it up in front of an audience as much as you possibly can.
To learn more about Inside the Actors Studio, go to BravoTV.com.